And welcome back to another video for the All Takes No Waste podcast. I'm Alex and that's Christian. And for this video, we'll be previewing a pretty decent card on Showtime this weekend. We have Subriel Matias versus Jeremias Ponce. That is the main event. Should be a pretty good fight. And we'll also be talking about Elvis Rodriguez versus Joseph Adorno. These are two guys who have one loss on their resume right now or in trying to get into title contention. So it'll be really nice to see this card. So I'm ready to get into it.
To get things started on this card, we're going to be talking about Elvis Rodriguez versus Joseph Adorno. Uh, like Alex said, I think this is a pretty good matchup right here. You got two guys had a really solid start to their pro careers and then ran into some adversity. And I think both of these guys are just looking to get back on track, really. And I think with that in mind, both of these guys are hungry. And when it comes to my familiarity with these two fighters, I'm definitely a lot more familiar with Elvis. And like a quick positive about him, I think he carries a lot of power in both hands, to be honest with you, because we've seen him knock a guy out with a jab, which is not everybody could say that.
Yeah, not everyone can do that.
Exactly. But the cons, I honestly think the cons outweigh the pros. He's too one dimensional. He relies on that power, and it's not even like super lights out power. And with that, like it's a lack of skill behind it as well. He's very, I don't want to say flat footed, but he just stays in the line of target at all times. He's not switching up angles on the opponents often. Um, and not only that, it's just he could get outworked easy. That's something else I've noticed as well. So if Adorno comes in with the right game plan, I think that there are ways to neutralize Elvis. But if Elvis is feeling himself right now and landing clean shots, that this fight could go in many directions, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm really not sure how I think this fight is even going to go right now because, I mean, it's probably more than likely going to end in a knockout. I mean, one guy has only finished one fight, and the other guy's been, or not finished one fight, but been the distance once, and the other guy's been 3 times. But Adorno's got some really good names on his resume. He tied, or not tied, but drew to Jermaine Ortiz, and his only loss is Mikel Rivera, a very highly touted Dominican prospect right now. So I know Christian really likes him. Um,
Uh, he come on, he just lost the other day. Actually, he got
yeah,
cooked.
yeah,
And then
I
I don't know if you saw right after that, he tested positive for a PED.
yeah, I actually do remember that now.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, so maybe he's not so high on him anymore. But I
Yeah, at one
mean,
point I was cool with him, but then he pulled a Tatis in boxing. Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, that still is a pretty good loss on Adorno's resume
for sure.
right now. But Elvis has a pretty good loss on his resume too, and Kenneth Sims Jr. But since
Hmm.
then, he's really, really been good. He has 2 knockouts in the 5th and 7th round. So I'm just seeing what both of these guys are going to be bringing to the table, and I'm thinking this is definitely going to be ended in a knockout, like I said earlier.
Hmm. And honestly, something I feel like that kind of helps out with context with Elvis's loss. Sims Jr. has been cooking since then as well. He's been
Mm,
like
really good.
exceeded expectations in that fight, and then since then he's just been pretty dominant, to be honest with you. So I think that's kind of,
Very good loss for him, to be honest.
yeah, exactly. I think that's like a loss on his resume that could pan out and be like, that's not the biggest deal because look at the guy who he fought. Uh, but yeah, regardless, this matchup right here is a real interesting one. If I were to have to guess, I'm gonna just side with Elvis. Uh, Ninth round stoppage. I'm gonna just throw that. But real quick before we transition to the next one, you want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think Elvis is going to get a stoppage in this fight. I think it'll be a little earlier. I think he's going to get done maybe 6th, 7th round. But I'll pick 6th round.
Okay, there we go. Turn the six upside down. It's a nine now. Hopefully, I'm
Yep.
right this time. No, I'm playing.
We've
but
been close. We're picking the right fighters to win, like we
yeah,
did last week. It's just, well, I'm pretty sure I picked. So one of us picked Azat and one of us picked Neri. I can't remember who, but pretty sure you got it
yeah.
right.
Uh, who knows? I'm not. In case I'm
I
wrong, let's
can't.
just get
I
past
can't
it.
remember.
In case I'm wrong, let's get past this because this main event for this card right here, Subriel Matias versus Jeremias Ponce. This fight is looking to be a amazing fight right here for the vacant IBF World Super Lightweight title. I'm pretty sure Josh Taylor used to hold this belt before he was forced to vacate when he was trying to set up the Catterall rematch, which is probably not even going to happen. I'm pretty sure Josh Taylor might have something lined up with Tiafimo, but that's
No,
another.
they do have that
Yeah,
lined up.
that's another discussion for another day. Looking forward to that. But yeah, Josh Taylor's old belt. These guys are fighting for it, and honestly, this matchup looks insane. Matias has not finished a single fight that he's won, and Ponce undefeated with 30 fights under his resume, and a really solid KO ratio. So this fight right here, if I'm gonna be honest, I could see it going a couple of ways. But before I give those thoughts, I'm really I'm really looking forward to this because I think the style matchups seem to be a little different. It seems like Ponce carries a decent bit of power, but that's not what he relies on. And then you got Matthias, who's all about using his power. So I think this is one of those fights where stylistically it could go well.
Yeah, I will say though, both of these guys are very aggressive fighters. Matthias definitely the way more aggressive fighter
Hmm.
in this instance. Ponce is a little more or not aggressive, but a little more laid back. He will pick it when he wants to punch sometimes, but he is very aggressive too. Matthias is actually he's not coming off a loss, but he's coming off. He avenged his loss. He lost to his name is Petros Anyavan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I
Good job.
probably
Good
am
effort.
not. Yeah, I'm probably am not, but he lost to him and then he came back and knocked him out. So maybe that was just a fluke. It's the only time he has ever been through an entire fight because that fight went the distance. But I think this is going to be an absolute banger of a fight, to be honest. I think both guys are going to be coming out throwing punches left and right. And it's kind of interesting because Ponce has never fought in the United States before, so this will be his American debut over here. So it will be nice to see that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Make being on this stage could make or break. We saw Anthony Joshua in his first U.S. fight. We thought everything was about to be smooth sailing for him, the rise of a superstar, and then
Nope.
Andy Ruiz had different plans. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see Ponce make his U.S. debut. And as for my prediction, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna pick Jeremias Ponce. I honestly think he's gonna win by decision as well. With how aggressive Matthias is, I think he's gonna be going all in and kind of being a little reckless at times. And I think Ponce is gonna pick him apart like that. But at the same time, I think Matthias is a very sturdy fighter. So I don't think he's gonna get really seriously hurt, more so discouraged. And I see Ponce winning a decision.
No, I like that. It's we didn't talk about our prediction for this fight beforehand, so I'm kind of surprised by that, to be
Yeah.
honest. I'm actually going with Matthias on this. I think he's actually going to get a stoppage here in the fifth round on this fight.
Mm.
I think that he's just going to be super aggressive. He's going to come out and look like the better fighter, and he's got bigger plans in mind. I know that Ponce does too, but I read a little into it more, and Matthias has already called out Regress Porogus, so. I don't know if he's ready for that fight already, but or if he wins this, but that's a name he's been throwing around there. But I do think that Matthias is going to get this done in the fifth round.
Got you. I'm gonna be honest. I need to get a little more familiar with Matthias before I say this, but he's wilding calling out Pro Ray. Regis is fucking.
He's
He's
nasty.
nasty, and he goes really underrated because he has a loss to Josh Taylor. But people like to discredit the fact that he has a perfect argument to winning that fight. To be honest, he busted up
Hmm.
Josh Taylor bad in that fight. It was just competitive, and Josh Taylor got the edge in the victory. But I personally think Regis won it. So Matthias, if you want to
It's
challenge
kind of
yourself, like
wild for calling him out like that already.
yeah, like if you want to challenge yourself like that and think you're that capable, I would love to see it. But Regis is no joke. That's something that not that I would wait on, but like heavily consider.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, when I read that, I was kind of questioning it a bit, and it just doesn't make sense yet to me, especially since he has, I mean, he has 19 professional fights, but I still don't think he's ready yet. There are still some flaws, but It should be, a really good fight. This should be a really good card, and I'm just really looking forward to this. It's gonna be on Showtime, this weekend, and get ready for some good fights.
Oh, hell yeah. If you guys want, drop your predictions in the comments. Like, you could also subscribe and look forward to the recap. Watch me get this prediction right. You know, I need one.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has, and hopefully I do get this one right. Or Alex, I'm cool with either one of us getting the prediction right. It's always dope to see.
Mhm.
But we got that to look forward to next week. But until then, peace.
Peace.